Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg has had a weird couple of weeks, and I think weird is putting it mildly, but as far as the tax fraud trial that's happening in Manhattan goes, Weisselberg has alternated between taking the blame for everything that happened with the Trump Organization while also somehow throwing Donald Trump under the bus. Real unique thing there. It's annoying the hell out of the prosecutors because, again, at one moment he's like, no, Trump was in on all of it. Then the next one's like, I did this all for myself. So a little bit of weird issues there that probably not working so well for the prosecution, especially since the guy has basically made an agreement with them. They're not going to hit him with as bad of a sentence as they could in exchange for his cooperation, which they're clearly not getting. But they may get some help. And the help is actually going to come from an unlikely source, according to a new report from the New York Times. That help may come from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, the man who famously basically killed the criminal investigation into tax fraud taking place at the Manhattan DA's office earlier this year when he came to office. So here's what's happening. You have Alvin Bragg, who for some reason, I guess, has found his renewed sense of duty to investigate Donald Trump, but he wants to go back to something that kind of originally started that whole Manhattan criminal investigation. The report says that Alvin Bragg has become more focused on the hush money payment that Michael Cohen, on behalf of Donald Trump, made to Stormy Daniels, for which Cohen was reimbursed by the Trump Organization. And as everybody remembers, that is actually the crime that Michael Cohen was convicted of. And Cohen went to jail for it. But now, Alvin Bragg is thinking, hold the hell up, folks. This guy, Cohen, took the fall for it. Meanwhile, Alan Weisselberg, the chief financial officer, he approved it. He approved the misuse of Trump Organization funds to pay Cohen after he paid off Stormy Daniels. Why are we not doing this? And as the New York Times pointed out, that basically was the origin of that entire investigation in Manhattan. But Cy Vance, the previous DA, didn't think it was worthwhile. They didn't think they'd be able to connect the dots. They didn't think that they would be able to get a conviction for it because Trump was a federal candidate, not a state candidate. So charging him with state laws wouldn't work, and they couldn't do it on federal laws because it was New York. And so it was all kinds of complicated things that made Cy Vance say, no, we can't do this. But Bragg thinks he may have found the way to do it. Because obviously, with all this horrible information about the Trump Organization that has now come to light thanks to Letitia James's investigation and lawsuit, Bragg seems to think we may have an opportunity here to charge Alan Weisselberg with criminal activity for approving this hush money payment. So what does one have to do with the other, right? As I said, Weisselberg has been on the stand. He's been given conflicting reports about why he did what he did. So where does Bragg's investigation come into this? Because they're not related. Technically, they're not related. Well, here's the thing. The AG could reach out to the Manhattan DA and say, listen, I got jurisdiction over you. I get that. Maybe we do charge Weisselberg here, or maybe you draft your criminal charges against him. We dangle them in front of him and we finally get that nut to crack. I'm not saying he's a nut. I'm just using that as a euphemism, because Weisselberg has been unwilling thus far to roll on Donald Trump. But if the Manhattan DA may have new charges to file against him related to the hush money payment, the AG could then strike a deal with the Manhattan DA's office to offer immunity in exchange for Weisselberg's complete and total cooperation. Basically, you flip on Trump the way we want you to in the tax fraud trial, and we're not going to charge you at the local level for the misuse of these funds. It's all hypothetical. None of this has happened yet, but the wheels for all of this to happen are in motion. So this is going to be something very interesting to watch in the coming weeks. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.